Da-da. Welcome back to the channel. Okay, don't think, let's bring this up a little bit. Okay, I think we're good. So yeah, we finished off on this last time. Let's see. Let me just double check everything is looking good. Okay, yeah, perfect. So yeah, we had this running, and now what we're gonna have to do is we're gonna have to connect it to the dragon, kind of the dragon head effect as well. We're gonna have this kind of portal area open up, and then the dragon comes through, and that kind of means that what we're gonna have to do here is we're gonna have to set its emissions. So okay, let's see. I think what we can do here is, first of all, we're gonna have to go ahead and probably anchor all this. So let's go ahead and anchor these, and that way they don't fall over. Let's see, turn off collisions for this. Can't glide, can't touch, can't query. Nope. And maybe this song might be a bit too loud. Okay, I'm gonna turn it down just a little bit. Okay, there we go. And let's see, so when it comes to the actual effects, yeah, we're gonna have to have these turned off. Oh, and it's a problem that I can't really tell what everything is. Let me go ahead and delete all this and see what it looks like. Okay, so I guess that's all that. What is all this then? I wonder what all this is. Oh, this is the explosion below. So this is gonna, I'll go ahead and start renaming things. So this will be explosion. This will be portal. And that way we can kind of just know exactly what everything is. And we're also gonna have to have another attachment, and let's call this one the open portal. And we're gonna have to pull out the, I think, stylized beam. We're gonna throw that into there. What else do we throw in there? Rainbow? Where actually is this in the first place? Let me go ahead and move this real quick. Okay, it's right there. So yeah, we're gonna have to move that in there. Faded clock, no, we're gonna keep that in the portal itself. Stylized beam, that should have been in the portal. Cobweb overlay. Yeah, actually no, cobweb can stay in the portal itself. We're gonna need the, I think energy vague. Yeah, that's gonna be part of the portal opening. And these like kind of little lines, almost transparent. Yeah, and then everything else is gonna stay down there. So these kind of like glitter effects. Oh, and the one thing is that this thing is not centered. I'm wondering how I can probably fix that. If I add some speed, actually set the speed to 0. I don't know why that was set to something. And maybe if we adjust its to go to the right a little bit, so that's actually the Y, so that's gonna go up. So if I set this to like 1, oh, but then it's gonna change the direction. Okay, so no, we cannot do that. I wish you could, is there a way to set the position that it spawns in? No, we're just gonna have to have another attachment. So let's go ahead and duplicate this, remove everything except for the stylized beam, delete the stylized beam from this one. And then let's go ahead and move this, just so I can center it real quick. Probably around here-ish. We'll just eyeball it. That looks about right, yeah. Yeah. About centered. And so yeah, now the portal will open, the dragon will come through, it's gonna fly on the ground. And then these, I'm not getting enough of a, what is it, astral sort of sense from this effect. And so we're gonna have to add a bit of a kind of like cloudy mist around this whole effect, which I will do right now. So we're gonna call this the open portal, and we'll just call this open clock. And then, yeah, so let's go ahead and add to the portal, or clock, sorry. And let's go ahead and open up Zonito 3.0. Go to flipbooks. What sort of effect are we going for? I think the best thing to do here is probably something like this. Solar shockwave, yeah. Energy. Something like that. And let's go ahead. Where is it? Do I already actually have it inside? Oh, I have it selected on the wrong... Wait, what? So I'm wondering where it went. Did I import it? Okay, I thought I clicked on it, but maybe I didn't. Oh, I did, so it's probably this one. Let's see. Well, let's go ahead and go to properties, set its size so that we can actually see it real quick. Where is it? I'm not seeing it. Oh, there it is. And why is it on the portal? Okay, I think I have everything named wrong. Oh no, this is the portal. So this is not the clock. I don't know. Oh, these are part of the same. Whoops. Okay, okay, open portal. Surround. Yeah, it was just a mistake of figuring out what things were. Okay, so now let's go ahead, go into here, and let's set the beam color. It's actually already selected. So let's set that fade, which is actually also already set. We're just gonna have to set the light emissions. And instead of kind of going crazy, we're gonna set the size already to 35. Maybe even actually 45. So that's on the outer level, outer layer, kind of. Maybe even 60. Yeah, that looks good. So now that it's at 60, we're also gonna increase its lifetime to 2, and we're gonna set the rate to 3. And that looks alright, but it also does kind of follow the camera, which is not ideal. So yeah, we're gonna probably have to set the acceleration to like 0.01. And then we're gonna have to set the orientation to velocity perpendicular. That's not what was planned. Is there any speed? 0. There we go. Yeah, and so it looks a bit odd just because I think, let's see, it should be darker. Maybe less light emission. And also let's make these colors darker as well. So let's set these to like darker tones. Oh, did I accidentally add? Okay, let me go ahead and delete that. Just add a bit of darkness to this. Because yeah, we need more like black sort of effects. So let's see how. I think that might be too dark. It looks alright though, it's just, it's not exactly what I'm going for. Let's add another, let's layer it with another particle like that. So I believe it was the portal, yeah. We're gonna add, let's see. Let's try this one. This one could be good. And dark spinning smoke, yeah. So we're gonna go ahead and set the size to like 40. Yeah, that looks pretty cool. I will say it might even want to be even bigger. So let's try 50. Yeah, and then go to properties, set the fade, set the random rotation, of course, set the this is kind of rotating as well. And also we're gonna have to do multiple. So we're gonna have to come to here. Where is it? Time scale. No, that's fine. Lifetime 2. And I'm wondering if that's just enough. The thing is, I think it's just too dark. But it's also not too dark. I think just gotta turn down the transparency here. So let's go ahead and adjust the transparency to be a little bit higher, just so that it's less visible. That should allow it to be kind of maybe more, how do I put it? Yeah. And let's also turn up the light emission just a little. Not too much though, because we don't want the black to go away. Light influence to increase a little bit. And let's also increase the rate to 2. That way there's multiple layered on top of each other. So that we will get the more dark tones. But it's also like kind of spread out more in an even way. Okay. And let's also go ahead and set the spawn for it to be... Actually, no. We can't really set the spawn to be different because we already... Actually, no, we can. So let's go ahead and duplicate portal. And I believe it was the dark spinning smoke. So let's go ahead and delete everything except for dark spinning smoke. Delete from this one. And let's move this back a little. There we go. And now you can't really see the stars. So we're going to have to adjust that. So let's go back into here. Maybe adjust the light emissions a little bit. And then we're also going to have to... Let's see. What do we do here? Probably not the size, but... Well, how is the transparency looking? Okay. We can make it even more extreme, kind of. But yeah, the problem is the darkness is kind of overpowering right now. I think that's because the color is white. So if we change the color to like a purpler, or if we just set it to beam color. Yeah, that fixed a lot of it actually. And now we can also see kind of the webbing area as well. Which, yeah, it's not looking too good from like any other angle, but you're supposed to just be looking at it from here anyway, so I think it's alright. And then yeah, let's go ahead and move the portal down. See how it looks with everything selected. So yeah, it's going to come out of here. It's going to go down. So we're going to also use this explosion for the portal opening up as well. Let's switch. I don't even know why I released that trash, bro. But that's alright. Okay. But yeah, let's keep going. Boom, boom, boom. And yeah, let's go ahead and fix up the explosion. Because right now the explosion is kind of dookie. We just threw in a bunch of random stuff and hoped that it would work. Which it kind of did. I think we need a faster impact curve as well. Yeah, okay, that looks really cool though. But we just need it to be faster, so... We're gonna make another one. That is the S curve. Let's try a C curve. And maximum size 35. Max 35. And let's set size. Yeah, okay, that is what we needed. So, an impact curve of size 35 is good. And that's actually as well save that. Make sure you only have one of it enabled. Alright. Let's go ahead, select it as a size. And let's call it impact C curve. Size 35. Perfect, save. So now we got 2 impact C curves or S curves. Yeah, and I think we can actually throw it on a S curve on some of the specs. That way it's not like all at the same time, kind of varied. And we're also gonna have to add a bit more darkness. So we're gonna change some of these to a darker tone. And actually let's do multiple at the same time. Let's see how it looks if we change all these to straight up like black. And since they have light emission to 1, oh my gosh. To be honest, that looks really good. It's missing something though. I think everything is going together too much, so we're gonna have to vary it. So what we can do here is we can Lifetime 1.2. Lifetime is 0.9. Rate, yeah, okay. That looks really good. That actually looks really good. Okay, but yeah, let's just keep going. That's what we're here for. Light emission for this one, maybe set it a little bit brighter. See how that looks. I actually don't know what this one is, so. And for some of them, let's set the rotation speeds to be a bit higher. It's like maybe negative 90 to 90. Yeah. And I think that's the outer one. Okay. And the sparks, I don't think there's enough of them. So what we're going to do here is we're going to set the rate to 3. Which sparks are spawning? Actually, I am not sure. So what spark? Spec 26. I can't tell what spark is what. So I'm going to try and delete things and see what happens. Okay, so that was the big one. 26. I don't even know what that was. I didn't see anything. So it must have been one of these tiny ones. So let's try deleting 24. Okay, now there's no sparks. So we know the spec 30 is the multi-spec. And these are just the single specs. Single spec 1. And this is a single spec 2. Nice. And now that we got all the specs, we can go ahead and set the rotation speeds to like maybe let's try 80. And then I think for the multi-spec we don't want it to go too big, so size, let's set that to shoot. We can't really mess with it because it is the impact curve, S curve. So what we can actually do, let's try this. No, okay. What we can do here is we can set it to 20. Let's actually set it to an S curve, of course. I think it has to be a bit bigger actually. Let's try 28. Yeah, that looks good. Yeah, we just don't want it to be too big because it is a lower quality kind of high specs. And we want more single specs, I think. So actually no, I don't really care actually. In fact, I could probably just delete these and there wouldn't even be a difference. Yeah, I can't even see a difference. Okay, we'll just delete those. Okay, let's see if there's anything wrong, at least. Okay, no, it doesn't seem like it. So we got the impact and we got the portal. We got the actual portal itself as well. I think all we gotta do now is to script it up. So let's go ahead and make sure everything is together in the same exact position. I think it's about here-ish. Yeah. So it's gonna impact and the portal's gonna spawn. I do think that one circle is just too much actually. I think is it, which one is it? It's one of these ones. I think it might be 520. Let's try. It's not this one. It's this one, okay. Yeah, that one is just too much, I think. So what we can do here is we can still keep it here, but let's change the size. Let's try it. And for this one, yeah, let's do the C curve again. Maybe a bit slow of a C curve though. Yeah, I think that looks alright. So yeah, I think we'll use this, and now that we've got the whole impact, let's set this let's set all of them to emissions of 0. So let's go to rate, set it to 0, Now there's nothing. Let's set the emission to 2, not 20, 2. Emit. That's too much. Let's try 1. Okay, yeah, so that's going to be how it's going to look, basically. So, nice. We got that done. Let's go back and let's start scripting it up real quick. So let's go ahead and add a script. And let's also hide everything here, actually, as well. So we're going to set all of emissions to 0 for everything. So we got a portal. What portal is this? There's 2 portals. Okay, so this is the dark spinning smoke. Let's delete this and see what happens. Okay, it's that. So let's call this one portal dark. I should be able to know what it is from that. Whoops. Okay. And let's rename everything because we're gonna... You know what? No, we don't have to rename everything. Let's just make sure everything is at the same emission. So this is rate 1, rate 1, rate 3. This one's rate 3. Let's actually rename them to the rate that we want them to be. So 3, 1, 1. And also, we should actually keep the names as well. So let's call these lines 1 or 3. And this one is energy 1. And you'll see what I'm doing in a bit. Rainbow 1. I'm actually not seeing the open portal. Maybe it's because, are they set to emission 0? Let's check emissions. Let's try emitting, actually. Let's try emitting 1. Where? I set up like a giant explosion kind of crack on the... I'm wondering where that thing went. Okay. It kind of disappeared. That's alright though. Let's just keep going. So, what was I doing? Okay, let's close VFX suit. We don't need that anymore. We also don't need ZV anymore as well. And we don't need the output to be that big. What was I doing? Okay, open portal surround. I think it's this though. I'm not sure why I can't see anything. Let's set rate to 2. Yeah, I'm not sure where... Am I missing something? Did I delete something on accident? Faded, energy, flip up, shock, wave. 30. Holy crap. That looks kind of cool though. We could do something like this if we have enough time. This does look pretty cool. Yeah, that's pretty awesome. But for now, let's just keep it kind of low. Yeah, what was I gonna do? That's right. I think it was explosion actually. Let's see what happens if I emit one of these. Okay. Dark spinning smoke, yeah. Alright, I'm really not sure what's going on. And I might actually move this back. Just because I don't think it matters that much that it has to be in a different attachment. Let's just go ahead and set the Z offset to -1 so it's below everything. Yeah, that should just about fix it. And actually, let's center everything on the part as well. Just because it doesn't make sense for everything to be off by a little bit. It'll also make it easier for spawning. So let's set everything to be exactly where we want the monster dragons to spawn from. So yeah, probably about here. Yeah, nice. Let's see, what does it look like from all the angles? I think those like surrounding lights aren't enough. They're just not enough light emission. So let's, or maybe they're just too dark. I think I messed up by, what am I changing right now? Yeah, I think it's this one. What was I changing earlier? Let me undo. Oh, it's that one. Whoops. No, I think it was this one, yeah. Let's go ahead and copy the colors from this one. Paste it into here. Nope, never mind. Can I do that? What I can do though is pull out ZV and do that. So let's go ahead and beam color pink. Yeah, I think it just does look better this way. And one of the things is that I might have to. Let's see, what do I have to do here? Is the transparency set? It is. Why is it? I think if I set the transparency to higher, that might fix it as well. Whoops. Whoops. Man. Yeah, and it kind of just like looks like they're flashing into existence. I think, what's going on with that? I'm not really sure. Yeah, they kind of just like flash out of existence. I'm wondering why that is. I guess it doesn't really matter that much. Yeah, anyways, let's just try 75. That makes it look super, but if it's going backwards, I think it could look cool. So if we set the acceleration to -2, no, faster than that, -8. Maybe even faster than that. Let's try -20. And then, did we already have the rotation? Yeah, let's set rotation speeds to like -100 to 100. I think that's too much. I think -30 to 30, and then let's just set the rate to 4. Yeah, okay, I think that looks pretty good. Yeah, that'll work for me, at least for now. Let's, I feel like something's off, though. Something's very off. Maybe it's like influence now. Maybe it's like emission. Let's just, it might be the size. Let's set it to like 30, 40. No, but then it's just too small. Or is it? If we set the transparency to even lower. And maybe set it to 45. Or actually, let's try setting minimum to 35, maximum to 45, 44, 43, 45 actually, yeah. And let's just set size. So it kind of grows as it... Yeah. I think that looks alright for now. It's about what I could expect. Yeah. Okay, I think that is the portal done. Anything else would just be wasting time, I think. So let's go back into the script, call it portal script. Let's see, and so now we're gonna have to pull all these attachments. So let's go ahead and do setup variables and local. Open portal, and this is gonna be an attachment equals script dot parent actually let's do that one first. So local what is it gonna be? Dimension crack. That is the name of the effect, so let's just set it to that. Alright, and then open portal, that's gonna be dimension crack dot open portal local. Yeah, let's just go ahead and pull this out here. Local open portal surround attachment equals dimension crack dot open portal surround local portal, and that's going to be another attachment equals yeah, okay, local explosion attachment equals explosion. And then part, what is this? This is the star, so this is going to be called star spawn. Star spawn. Let's go ahead and set that as a local star spawn part equals dimension crack dot star spawn. Yeah. And let's actually go ahead and pull the scripts from the explosion. Yeah, let's pull all of these. We are going to need these. So let's do functions right here. And then let's do execution right down here. Let's see, what else do we have to do here? I think that's about it. Okay, so execution. Let's go ahead. We're going to have to hide all particles first. And we're going to have to do that here, but the problem is we haven't finished renaming everything. So let's go ahead and do that. So this is, so all we're looking for is the rate. So we're just going to look for the rates, beam 1, and just name it with the dash and then the rate. So this one is also cobweb dash 1, smoke dash 2, dust dash 1, clock dash 0.5, shockwave dash 4. I wonder if this will be able to get converted. Hopefully it does. So yeah, this one is actually 0, 0, 0, and these are the impact ones. So we don't have to rename all of these. These are, we're just gonna emit basically. This one we will have to do, so stars dash 17. Okay, and now that we have all the rates saved as their name, we can go ahead and set the rates to 0 for all of them. And that's going to make the whole entire effect disappear basically as well. But in the grand scheme, is so that we can reset them to a different value. So let's go ahead and make sure that we set everything to 0. Nice, everything is set to 0. So now let's go ahead and move this portal script over here. And now we're going to do, what are we going to start with? We are going to start by creating a new function, actually, local function, and we're going to do show all particles, or no, emit all particles equals attachment, and then amount number. And now what we're gonna do here is for, actually, oh, I should, is that right? If particle emitter is a particle, what I would do actually continue and guard clause. And there, basically that was kind of the same exact thing. It's just I like to do guard clauses because it makes things a lot easier. You just get straight into the code. It also reduces the amount of tabs that you go up. And so that's one of the big reasons I do that a lot as well. I would also put an I there. Attachments get descendants. I'd actually do get children. What's the difference? All descendants. I'll just do children. Same thing. I don't know what descendants does and I don't want to mess with it, so we'll just keep it like that. So I think that's that function finished. Perfect. And I just realized we're also going to need the function to function show all particles attachment. And we're actually going to set the rate from the based off the name. Operator string. For I particle in attachment get children. Do. And now that did I spell it wrong again? Yeah, I did. Okay. If not particle is a particle emitter, then return, then continue end. Okay, and we're gonna do another one. If particle dot name, and then we're gonna go ahead and string dot split this by separator. And we're gonna get the second variable, so we're gonna set 2 equals no, actually we're gonna actually pull this as a variable. Local split equals, and we can't set the hinted variable type because it's a table, and tables kind of mess up when you do that. It's just kind of annoying, so I'd rather just leave it unknown. If split number split is smaller than 2, then continue end, because that means it's not in the right format. And now that we know that it's also in the format, now all we have to do is run the code. So end guard clause, and now all we have to do is show particle. We're gonna do the particle, and we're gonna do it as 2 number, and we're gonna convert the second separator. So, and actually let's pull this. We don't want that there. We want it here. So split, and then we can paste that there. Show particle, and I think that should work. Perfect. So now all we have to do here is show task.wait to show all particles on, what are we gonna start? No, we're gonna actually emit all particles. Emit all particles on the explosion, and then amount 2, no 1, and then we're gonna then task.wait. No, we should not task.wait on that one. We're just gonna go straight into the portal. So portal or show all particles. We're gonna do that on what, open portal. I'm actually not remembering which one is which. No, and this one is also a one time. So this is gonna be like an emitted one. I think this one. So yeah, because these ones are the actual portal itself. So we're gonna only do it on the portal. So portal, and then let's set it to separator is gonna be dash task.wait 2 again, and then we're gonna then open up the portal. And how we're gonna do that is we're gonna start by opening the open portal surround. Open portal surround. Show all particles on open portal surround. Separator is the dash, and then task.wait 0.5, and then we're gonna show the beam. So, and then we're gonna emit particle on the emit particles, and we're gonna do that on open portal. I'm just gonna set it to 1. Let's see how this looks. Hopefully it runs as well. Okay, well, I was not paying attention, so I actually don't... I think it ran too fast. So let's set test out wait to 6. Let's see if it's just the timing change. It should spawn over here. Oh, right there. Oh, I was facing the wrong way too. I'm actually not... Okay. Okay, well, it's facing the wrong way. Or is it? Okay, let me run it one more time. I was not facing the right way. Where is it? I think it's this. Okay. I think it needs, yeah, it needs a bit more wait time. Okay. So it needs to wait, maybe, let's just wait 1. And I think on the impact we also need to wait actually, so task.wait 0.8. Of course we're going to adjust as we go. Boom. Okay, maybe, okay, I should not. I can't see crap, bruh. Yeah, this thing. No, is it this? I think it's this. Is this even anchored? Yeah, that's why it keeps falling every time. Let's also put a face on it. So, how are we gonna do this? I'm trying to put a face or a decal. And let's put this decal on the, what side? Back. Yeah, and let's set the transparency to 0. Texture. We can just pull this texture, I don't really care. Just something so we can, oh my gosh, I picked the tiniest texture of all time. It should work though. No, that thing is not visible at all. Let's do this one. Okay, texture, pull this one. And this is just so I can tell which way it's gonna spawn from. Okay, that works. I just need something that I can see. So it's gonna be spawning from this side. Yeah, that portal is very quick. I think I need to set its open portal to lifetime to 2. Let's see how that looks. I think we need more time to wait, so once we open up everything, we're gonna wait even 4 seconds, I think. And let's actually wait 0.5 on this one. Let's see how that looks. Okay. It looks alright. It works. It does work. And that's what matters, I guess. So, I guess, yeah, once we open the portal, that's when we're going to spawn the, whatever it's called. The spawner. Arc clone. So, we're actually going to probably pull a lot of this code. So, let's go ahead and pull it. Let's paste it in here. We're going to need this whole import system. Just because I have not imported anything on this script at least yet. This is the first import. Setup variables. We don't need swords. We just need arc. We can just throw this up in setup variables as well. And we don't need functions because we already got that area. Execution. This is where we're going to need it. And arc.position, script.parent.position. Vector 3.new4. Why are we setting it 4 in the sky? Don't know. We don't need that. Okay. Let's see how this looks. Why is it still... Okay, I think there's a second one. Let's see if it's going to spawn a second explosion though. Parent of property arc is locked. Parent of property arc. Parent property of arc is locked. Current parent null. New workspace parent. Are we not cloning? Arc. Oh my gosh. Local new arc equals. Yeah, that'll do it. And this is actually going to be a mesh part because we're going to have to 3D model that. Yeah, I don't know what I was doing earlier, but yeah, that's going to mess stuff up. Because that means we're basically pulling it from server storage. We're not cloning it from server storage. And that means we're just destroying it after it's done. So, no good. That's no good. And I actually want to know, where are we running this script? Spawner. Where is spawner actually? Is it this? It is this. Okay. We're actually gonna have to... What is this part actually? Dimension crack. So dimension crack is currently invisible. And we're gonna delete spawner. Yeah, we're gonna delete spawner. And I kind of have an idea of where it's gonna be looking anyway, so I think I should be good now. So it's gonna be this way. Let's just wait for the particle. Okay, right there. Oh, alright. Yeah. Portal opens. Nice. The dragon comes out. Boom, explosion. I think everything's just running too fast. There's not enough time for each section of the particle. And oh, that's right. I need to fix the sword's impact. So I was thinking about it, and I kind of came to the conclusion that I think the reason why this thing is broken is because we're parenting, and then we're setting the position. But if we just parent and then we set the position later on, then all the assets are going to be loaded onto the server. Let's see if this works. So this is kind of like a mock. Whoa, where is it? This is a mock version of the full particle. Okay, let's see. Thing explodes. Swords come out, they fly down. Yeah, and I think the reason why everything's so delayed right now is because the explosion scripts are not on a C. And let me show what I mean by that. Explosion. What are all of these? That is not the explosion. Starblade impact, yeah. Particle. I think these are all on the S curve, and they have to be on a C curve. So what we're gonna do here is we're gonna check their size. Whatever this is actually. Yeah, but these have to be a lot higher, a lot earlier. And they also should be bigger, actually. I think the particle itself should be a lot bigger. And then they're kind of gonna taper off as it goes to 0. So it's instantly gonna hit its peak, and then it's gonna start slowly going down. Let's see how that looks. Okay, particle spawns. Little clock spawns as well. Facing the wrong way, of course, as usual. Explosion spawns. And I think that I should make the dragon slower as well, which is what I'm gonna have to do. Okay, they're still very delayed. Let's see. How can we fix that? Task.wait. I think maybe it might be that actually. Don't know why I was doing a task.wait over there. Because now that we have everything parented to the workspace, everything is loaded in, so it's not gonna have the problem of not like being visible. So it's gonna spawn real quick. Giant explosion. Swords pull out. They fly down, and I think it should work this. They still got a pretty noticeable delay. I think the delay here should be shorter. Yeah, hopefully this will fix it. And it's because it's running the delay exactly when the tween ends, and the tween doesn't actually end when it like stops. And I'm wondering why this thing keeps spawning from like down here and not the top. That's something I'll have to fix as well. Yeah. One thing is that I think the impact, I don't think it actually should spawn a little bit higher. I think I remember doing that earlier. Yeah, I think I set its position above. I think it should actually be below, so 0.5. And let's make it bigger. Yeah, these things are tiny. These are not impacts. I'm probably gonna have to use this actually. Let's actually pull this out and see how it looks in game. So let's set the emissions to emit delay. And let's actually set the emissions to 1. Yeah, let's pull out ZV and let's start editing it a bit. So first off, color, of course. Let's set the fade out as well, if I didn't do that yet. Random rotation as well, that's gonna help a lot. And then Sigma just to add a little bit of rotation speed. And I wonder if that set the all, yeah, let's actually set it to maybe even faster, like negative 40 to 40. And we're not setting the speed here. What we are gonna do is set the lifetime to 2. And we're gonna minimum of 0, maximum of 18. That might be too big, so let's try 14. And I think it lasts too long now, so let's try 1.5. And now let's try just affecting another one and try changing the... That way it's not all going at the same exact time. What else? I think it looks good, we just need a little bit more. What can we add here? We could try this. Let's throw this in here. So let's go ahead and set this size. And maximum, actually, this one seems to be a lot bigger, so let's try 12 for this one. Light emission. 1. Let's also set the curve to be a little bit different from the others. What else? Let's set the color real quick. So let's go here. Properties, set the fade, color. And let's actually adjust the colors for each one. And I will be right back. Alright, and I'm back. Let's see, let's just keep going. So this is of course the impact for the swords hitting the ground. I'm wondering, I think I should actually add a particle for the ground as well. So what we're gonna do here is we're gonna add a attachment. We're gonna bring it down add a, no, we can actually go over here, go to flipbooks. No, not flipbooks. Let's go to statics, and then let's get a impact. This one. Let's try this one. And you can see it looks kind of trash right now, but that is also because we're gonna have to first of all bring it down. Actually, no, let's bring it up a little bit. And we'll, since it's gonna be set to a different position. Okay, right here, let's set the color over here. Properties, set the color. Where's color? Color. Alright, and now let's set the light emission, light influence. Let's set the direction, speed to 0, acceleration to 0.001, and then let's go ahead and set the orientation to velocity perpendicular. That way it's going to face up. And then let's set the size to 30. How does that look? I guess it's invisible. What just happened to it? I think I messed something up. Velocity perpendicular, yeah. Huh? Okay, I'm not sure why it's kinda... Let me set speed to 0.1. Okay, oh, you know what? I think it's because I set speed to 0. So let's set the speed to 0.001. Oh, there we go. Okay. So yeah, this is gonna be the impact on the ground. Let's also, we gotta not forget for the fade out U curve for the transparency. You know what? We could probably throw this into here actually as well. Just delete that. And then let's open up the sword script. No, the explosion script. No, the starred blade impact script. And let's go ahead and get the names of everything. Water. Ground impact. Nice. And now we can go ahead and pull these. And set it to 1. And you know what? Actually, these should be 1 as well. These should not be 2. And let's set this to ground impact and set this one to water. And now that we got everything, we can go ahead and set the emissions to 0. Where is that? Emission. Where's this thing at? Rate is 0. Nice. Okay. And now we can drag this in and let's go ahead and test the whole particle. Alright, so we got the particle over here, I believe. It's going to go ahead and spawn. The portal is going to open up, and then the portal is going to open the little dragon thing that's going to fly around. Then the explosion, star, the swords are going to pull out, and they're going to fall and explode. Come on, please. Okay, it looks alright, but I think the problem here is that the ground impacts don't last as long. First off, so ground impact. And the size, I think it's too big. Let's set the size to 26, and let's set the actually light emission to this, and let's also maybe not use blue for the starting color. Let's set it more to blue over here. And then lifetime 2. And let's set the transparency to be super high at the beginning. And that should look good. Okay, let's try this. Please work. Alright, portal opened. The thing is gonna go flying. And then let's just see how this looks. Okay, portal opens. Big explosion. Particle spawn. And I might turn off the shadows for these. Okay. Yeah, I think that looked a lot better. Yeah, I think that's what I was going for. Perfect. So now we just gotta recolor this ground part of the explosion over here. We might want to add more darkness over up in the skyish area as well. Maybe add like a whole cloud in the sky. That might actually be a better idea. And then for each of these, I think they should also have an ambient kind of particle effect as well, not just an actually, you know what, they could actually disappear once they hit the ground. So I'd have to set up a tween for that. Let's also go ahead and play our music again. Whoops, we're not trying to pull out ChatGPT. Okay, where is it? Da-da-ding, da-da-dan. I'm gonna get some water, I'm dying of thirst. It is actually so hot out today, so... There we go. Don't forget to drink water, everybody. So yeah. What was I gonna do? That's right. The swords are gonna fade away once they hit the ground. So how we're gonna do that is on the Starblade Impact. No, we're actually gonna do it from the sword script. Yeah, we're gonna do it here. So basically, once the tween plays, this is actually gonna... No, I'm looking at the wrong thing. Where is it? Here. No? My brain is fried. Okay, let's just focus. Okay, I'm just gonna do the whole particle again just to make sure everything looks right. Okay, so yeah, portal spawns. Dragon flies out. Beam goes up. Swords go out. And they fly down. And actually, I'm gonna remove those prints because those prints are kind of annoying. So yeah, let's go and delete all these prints. We don't want them. Okay, and it is actually here, so to do here. Where was the other prints? Here. I'm gonna skip this song. Yeah, delete this print as well. Let's look for any prints. Yeah, we have a print here. Let's delete this print. Let's delete this print. I think that's all the prints. Let's also... You made changes. Would you like to save these changes? Always save. Oh, I probably shouldn't have clicked that. Whoops, whatever. To do. No, not this one. I thought it was in here though. Yeah, I thought I put a to do here, but... Wait, why are the prints back? I thought I deleted these. Okay, it's whatever. We can just delete them again. I think the other print was here, yeah. Nice, so we deleted all the prints. We're not going to get spammed in the console anymore. What we have to do now is set up a new tween. So local tween. Do we already have a variable called tween? Yeah, I do. So we'll call it tween2. Tween equals ts create. Actually, yeah. Wow, the AI already knew. And we're going to play the tween. We're not going to be tweening the size, though. We're going to be tweening the transparency. So it's transparency to 1. Tween info new 0.5. We're gonna not use this tween info. We're gonna make... Actually, we can probably use this tween info right here. So tween info. And if it doesn't work, if it doesn't look good, we can make our own custom tween info. Okay, let's try this. So now once the swords hit, they should tween away. They should disappear once they kind of have hit the ground. And we'll see if that works. Please work. Come on. Okay. And also right down here, there's that little blue square, which we're gonna... I swear I skipped this song. Okay. Boom, come on, please. Come on, tween away. Dang it, okay. So obviously it did not work, and these prints are also... Where are these prints from? Sword script. Okay, I'm gonna delete those. Dang. So I'm wondering why that didn't work at all. That was kind of weird. Okay, so tween 2 ts create da, 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 da. Oh, we're doing it on explosion. No, we're not trying to do it on explosion though. We're trying to do it on sword. That's why. Okay. Yeah, because explosion is already invisible, so if we're setting it to invisible, then that's not exactly what we're going for. So this one should work though. I guess that's what happens when you use the AI sometimes. Like it just doesn't know exactly what you're trying to go for. And so you kind of got to fix it like that, which is kind of annoying, but that's the life. That's the life. That's what happens when you use AI. Kind of just got to fix it up. Okay, and now the swords. Oh yeah, the swords have disappeared. I think that was a bit too quick though. So, yeah, we're gonna have to add a task.weight right here. So 0.3 actually. No, 2. Because that's the length of the actual sword hit the ground in animation. And so they'll only start fading once they fully hit the ground. Okay, and now we'll see. Boom. And once this is done, we're gonna 3D model up the dragon head. That's what we're gonna do next. Okay, they hit the ground. Yeah, they're still fading really fast, which I guess 0.2 seconds isn't long enough. Yeah, let's set it to 0.5 seconds. And that should be like more than enough. And yeah, of course, this is a particle for the game that I'm working on. And so yeah, this is kind of just proof that I actually did build it myself. Come on, please work. Okay. Yeah, they still disappear way too fast still. I think, yeah, it's just, what is it? We're gonna have to wait even longer, so let's do a task.weight of 1, and then we're gonna make a new tween info. So we're gonna just make a tween info 2. Local tween info 2. And this is a tween info equals ts create tween info dot new. And we're gonna throw in the tween is gonna last, I think, maybe 1.3 seconds. Easing style enum dot easing style dot sign. And what are we gonna do? Easing direction enum dot easing direction dot I don't think it actually matters because it's a sign, but repeat count 0, reverse is false, and delay time 0. Nice. And we'll use this instead of that, and we're gonna have to put this above in the code hierarchy just so that it works. Nice. Boom. And now let's try this one. Okay. Yeah, let's actually see where it's spawning from. Okay, yeah, so the dragon is spawning from right here, which is not supposed to be right. I'm not sure why it's spawning from there. But yeah, here, let's keep going. Okay. And the swords last. Okay, yeah, and now you can see they last a lot longer. I think they should probably. And this actually I saw was messed up as well. Delete. The ground impact should last kind of like this. It should fade pretty slowly. Kind of like a gradual fade. And that should look a lot better. And it's also gonna show the swords as well a lot more. But let's set the length to 0.8. Just to show the swords for even longer. Okay. Explosion. Swords pull out, and then they're gonna fly down. Okay, and the swords last a lot longer now. Yeah, that is what I was going for. I think that's it. That's it done. Perfect. So that is about like all the systems. Everything else is just gonna be to make that look better. Actually, no, I lied. We're gonna have to make the arc system look a lot better. So right now the arc is literally just a red part. This is gonna be replaced with the dragon head, which we're gonna do right here in Blender 4.1. It doesn't really matter what version of Blender you're on, because in the end they're all basically the same. Yeah, there we go. Blender's pulling up, and I'll kind of just show how I'd make a dragon head. I did draw up one on my tablet, but I'll just use that if I need to. So let's go ahead and append the Blender import. No. Collection. There we go. And let's go ahead and work on the dragon head. So this is the default kind of player. Let's go ahead and move it to the side, because the dragon head is going to be a bit bigger. Go into edit mode. Let's work on the side profile first. So let's actually delete these vertices. Let's add a mirror modifier. So mirror, there we go. And add clipping. And now let's go to Z view. And let's get kind of like the rough shape of the dragon head. So it actually might be a good idea for me to pull out a picture. When will you play Blox Fruits again? You know what? I'll probably play it tomorrow, but I can't do it today just because I'm working on this particle effect for a competition. Thank you for asking though. Yeah, I'll be on it tomorrow if I have the time, for sure. But yeah. Yeah, right now I'm just working on a 3D model for a dragon. And so yeah, that's kind of what I've been working on for about maybe the last hour or so. Yeah, about that last hour. So yeah, let's just keep working on the dragon head. And right now I'm just going by like how I want it to look. It's not, and I'll adjust how it looks later on as well. Let's move this over here. Yeah, let's just make a bunch of sharp teeth over here. And then let's merge it here. It's not really looking like a dragon, but I think this is good. This is good, I think. And now let's go into Z view and let's pull out proportional editing. Let's set it to 2. And let's skip the song. Actually, I don't really like that song too much. Let's set proportional editing to 4 real quick, and then no, let's set it to even higher. Let's set it to 20. Let's see how that looks. Yeah, there we go. And that's just to make everything kind of spherical. There we go. That looks like a pretty cool dragon, I would say, at least. Do we have clipping on? Yes, we do. So we can just take these and merge them at the middle. And let's take the top and let's also kind of bring them closer together. Turn off proportional editing. Yeah, I mean, it's looking pretty crazy right now. And let's add the eye sockets as well. So let's go over here, E. Whoops. And then let's just go like this. Let's do a double eye. Kind of like that. I think that looks pretty crazy. Yeah, let's bring it up actually a little bit more. And let's bring this one out a little bit more as well. And that should be good. And now it's kind of a matter of filling in all the empty vertices. And yeah, oh, I think this is clipped right now, so let's go ahead and pull that out. And yeah, so we're just going to be adjusting a bunch of stuff here. Let's see. Let's bring this out over here. What is this? Oh, okay. Yeah, there we go. Okay, nice. Yeah, and let's actually delete this vertex right here and let's merge it with this one. And this is gonna be like kind of like with a hammerhead shark, how they kind of have like a big nose. That's kind of what I'm going for with this dragon shape. And yeah, I'm just making sure everything is connected to a vertex at the moment. And then yeah, I'll actually add a kind of a line that goes across as well. And this is gonna just gonna be the top of the dragon head. So let's go like this. Right here, right here, right here. right here, and then delete this vertice, and let's merge these two right here. Yeah, and let's also bring these two merge right there. Subdivide these, and we're gonna add a, let's skip this song. Fill right here, let's fill right here. Subdivide these, merge, fill, I mean, and fill right here. And now we can take these and kind of drag them out. Yeah, okay. And now let's connect this to the eyelid over here. Right here, and this is a multi-sided polygon, so we're gonna have to turn it into triangles, because you never want a pattern of like, I'll just show it like this. So 1 2 3 4 5 6 sides that make up this part. You never want something like that. You want maximum of 1 2 3, like triangles or squares. So this is a square, 1 2 3 4. Things like where it gets like 5, or which is like 1 2 3 4 5. This shape right here, you never want it in a 3D model, just because most game platforms don't even handle them correctly. And so you want maximum of 4, so 1 2 3 4, just like that. So that's what I'm kind of doing right now. Did I miss? Oh, that was supposed to be an eyeball. Whoops. Actually, let's delete these vertices. Oh no. Delete these edges. Only edges. Yeah, that was not what I was trying to do. Okay, and then delete only this edge as well. And delete this edge as well. Yeah, and just because that was supposed to be an eyeball. And let's go ahead and start filling this in, or this over here. Oh, fill this part in as well. Okay, here we go. I think that's looking all right. I think the eyes might be a bit too high though. Doesn't look too good over here. So yeah, I'm gonna move the eyeball down. Yeah, it's also rotated a little bit. Yeah, kind of like that. We're going for something that looks kind of crazy, like insane, because I think that would be fun. Subdivide this, merge it right here. Yeah, I mean, there's really not too much to talk about when it comes to like this sort of thing. So we'll just go with it. Let's see. What we can do here is we can start merging these. So let's start merging this. And let's move this up a little bit. And then yeah, we're gonna start filling in the teeth. So let's go ahead and fill in the triangles on the teeth. Whoops. Yeah, there we go. Looks alright. Let's go ahead and do that for the upper side as well. Okay, let's see, what else do we have to do here? There, these two, and these. And now let's fill in the upper lip. I feel like something's wrong over here. Yeah, I think there's a 5-sided shape over here. Yeah, we're gonna have to fix that. Bring this over here, bring this over here. And I'm kind of just connecting lines like where I see them. And that's probably not the best way to do this, but it's the only way I've been doing it. So, and it's been working out so far, so you know. Don't change what works. Let's fill in the jaw. Let's actually subdivide this so that we can fill it over here, and subdivide this so we can fill it over here. Yeah, let's actually subdivide this as well and then fill it right here. And we're gonna have to bring the lower jaw kind of out further than the upper jaw, just because that's kind of how it works with these sort of monsters that look insane. We kind of want to bring them out, the lower jaw at least. You know, this is kind of looking like a modified Mr. Beast, which is kind of interesting. Yeah, let's actually, I don't really want to mess with this portion, so we're just gonna merge these like this. Actually, let's go ahead and merge these vertices right here. Merge at center. And let's delete this. I don't think we need this vertex. Yeah. Whoops. What else do we want to do here? We're almost done with the dragon head, which is actually pretty nice. At least with the skeleton of it. Actually, no, I don't want to do that. That's too much work. Yeah, I'm already running low on time, so I gotta be quick with this, which is why I'm trying to make this dragon head as fast as I can. And I'm not gonna fill the inside of it, I don't think, just because... Let me try filling it. There. Yeah, so that actually worked out really well. Sometimes it doesn't work and you kind of have to fill in each of the polygons personally. So we're just gonna go ahead and delete only faces, and we're gonna fill in these ones manually. Whoops. Yeah. Holy crap. I made that. Dang. Yeah, so we're also gonna add a solidify modifier. Set the thickness to 0. Actually, no, this is pretty big, so let's set it to 2. That is way too big. Okay, let's set it to 0.5. 0.8. Yeah, let's see. How does it look like this? It looks pretty fire. What I can do actually is, with the eyes, we can make them glowing. So we're gonna have to 3D model up some new eyes. But that's actually pretty simple, because all we have to do here, take all of the outer shape of the eyeball. And then what we're gonna do here is we're gonna... Actually, no, we should do it after we're done with all the manipulations with the dragon head. So for now, let's just keep it like this. Yeah, so let's go on to top view and let's adjust anything that looks wrong. So yeah, we're just gonna go ahead and adjust this, try and make it more of like a spherical shape. And from the back side, we want it to be kind of out here. Bring this out over here. Yeah, that looks pretty good. Whoops. Nice. Oh, that's a 5-sided. Yeah, that we're gonna have to delete the only faces. And we're gonna merge it like this. Yeah, I mean, like, there has to be a better way to do that, but bruh, you know, that's just the life. Okay. And yeah, we're also gonna have to bring out the lower jaw again. I don't think it's kind of pronounced enough. So we're gonna take all of this, bring it out, and now we're just gonna select only the middle portions of the jaw. We're gonna bring it out even more. Let's see how it looks from fully front. It's pretty big. This thing is giant, actually. I might scale it. Oh, well. Let's bring this, let's actually turn on clipping. Let's bring this down. Delete only faces. And fill this in real quick. Let's go to X view and let's kind of pronounce this area over here. Yeah, this looks pretty good. Give it more of a jaw or cheekbone right here. Make its eyes thinner. Thinner eyes makes it more kind of creepy looking. So that's what we're gonna do here. Yeah. You know what? This looks good. Let's go ahead and merge the middle. Some of these, yeah, let's just look for anything that looks off. But I think this is probably the finished product. Yeah, perfect, we're done. Now we're just gonna make the eyeball. So boom, 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 boom. Okay, we have selected all the outer ones. We're gonna go into this view, Shift D, click P by selection, and now we can invisit this, and now we got the eye selected. So let's go ahead and call this eyes. Let's go into edit mode, and let's delete all faces. So delete only faces. Let's actually delete the solidify modifier just for now, just because it's kind of getting in the way. Faces. Actually, no. Let's bring back the solidify modifier. I know why it was actually kind of glitching out. So let's just delete this only edges and faces. Delete this only edges and faces. And now what we can do is fill everything in. There we go. I think that's about it. Let's turn back on the dragon itself, and let's adjust it so that it kind of fits in the dragon itself. Actually, we might want to pronounce it a little bit, the eyeball. Yeah, kind of like this, just so that you can actually see it from like most angles. But yeah, I mean, like, other than that, let's bring it up as well. Yeah, other than this, I think it's completely done. Oh, oops. Let's actually go back into edit mode. Let's fill it in so that it's not messed up geometry. Okay. Let's go ahead and delete only edges and only faces. A fill. Yeah. Nice, I think that's it. Now let's go back into this mode. And we're gonna make the eyes neon, just because I think that would look pretty good on this. Yeah, that's the dragon finished. Okay, so we're gonna go ahead and select everything. I think the modifiers apply on export, so we should be good. So let's make a new folder for this. New folder. Let's call it dragon head. Open it up and then call this dragon head. Nice. Export. And let's also save it. Oh shoot, did it just crash? Oh no, it didn't. Nice. Dragon head, where is it? There it is. Dragon head. Dragon head. Nice. Save Blender file. Let's re-export it real quick. Oh, we gotta select it. And then let's re-export. Nice. Let's save it and let's go back to Studio and let's import it. So go to Avatar, import 3D, go to Environment, Dragon Head, and import this FBX file. Let's make sure everything is looking good. Yeah, it looks pretty good to me. So let's just import it. And it's going to import a pretty big dragon head. This might even be too big. Yeah, I think this is a bit too big. So let's scale it down just a little bit. Let's take these out of this model. And let's go ahead and what is it? Weld the eyes to the... It actually might be a better idea to do glue, not weld. Yeah, I'm gonna use glue instead. And let's delete this, and let's call this... Oh, eyeballs. We don't need this anymore. Okay, so we have this part right here, which is the arc. we're gonna actually move all the arc script into base. And now if we move the giant head around, let's see how it looks. Oops. Yeah, we're gonna have to move around a lot of these attachments. Yeah, so these attachments are... Oh, you know what? I just realized... Wait. Let's see. Let's call this, what is it? What was it called? Arc. Let's throw this into server storage, make sure the orientation is correct. I wonder how this is gonna look. This is gonna be weird. Okay. Oh my gosh. Yeah, so... Yeah, that's kind of what I was going for. I think it's way too big though. Yeah, it is way too big. So we're gonna scale it down. And we might actually just want to make both of them neon. Neon. And if we're both making both of them neon, we don't need the eyes actually. And then where was the... did it remove the weld automatically? I think it removed the weld automatically. Nice. And we're gonna change the color of this though. So we're gonna go ahead, set the color to... What is a... kind of a color that's like related to galaxies? More like a dark purple. I think that looks good. Yeah, okay. Okay. Yeah, we're gonna move these attachments over here, over here. We're gonna do a bunch of customizing on this thing. We're also gonna have to add particles to it as well. So I'm gonna actually add a attachment. Call these two real quick, rename them to side lines. Just because it is a line that is on the side of the particle. And then this is going to be the head particle. And now let's start throwing in particles. So go back into ZV. And let's go into flipbooks. Let's look for things that might look good on the back side of this thing. So I think we're going to want emitting... let's see. A lot of fire. This could be cool. Yeah, let's try fire. Let's try another type of fire. Just throw in second fire. Angel wings could be cool, but I don't think it's gonna work. That'd be... We'd have to like figure out where the dragon has been, and that's just a whole lot. What I have seen a lot of people do though actually is, what they do is they take these attachments, and let me try this actually for myself. Let's bring it to this side. Let's try moving it around. So they use that kind of trail as their body, so let's try duplicating these, rotating it 90 degrees, move it down a little bit. Let's see if this works as a body. So yeah, I mean that looks kind of cool. The dragon head has like a body now. And actually let's throw this in to see how it looks. Server storage. Is it this? Yeah, okay. Let's see how this looks. Okay, particle spawns. Dragon head flies out. Okay. Yeah, that did not look good. I think it's because it... Is it not anchored? I thought it was anchored. It's not anchored. That is probably the reason why it started like flying around. We're also gonna have to tween the dragon's head rotation. And what I mean by that is like, at the moment it kind of just like faces forwards, right? But it should like kind of like arc its head as it goes. Which I'm not even sure how that would be possible. That's gonna be really weird. But I do have an idea actually. I think with the arc script, what we can do is C dragon C frame. When we're setting the position, we can actually set the C frame look there as well. Yeah. Let me try this. Dragon C frame equals C frame look at. So start pause is gonna be the dragon's head position already. Just start pause plus direction. Direction would be, we actually don't have a direction at all yet. Local direction equals. Perfect. I think that should work. Let's see. And let's hope that the dragon is gonna rotate as it goes on the arc this time. And if it's too kind of snappy, which it might be. I think it was going backwards. Okay. Yep, the AI messed up once again. And that's just because the start pause should probably be here actually. And it's kind of weird just because I don't know. Yeah. Alright. Let's just test it again. It should be facing forwards this time. No. Why is it backwards? That's very weird. Okay, so maybe it wasn't the AI. C frame look at dragon head. Oh, that's why. I am dumb. The AI didn't mess up, it was me. Start pause. Whoops. End pause. Whoa. And it's because I put start pause here. That should, whoa, that I spelled that wrong. Dragon head position plus direction. What? Yeah, there we go. Come on, please work. Yes. No, it's not rotating though. Ah, shoot. I wonder why it's not rotating. Plus direction, which is end pause minus start pause. End pause minus start pause unit. C frame look at. Let's see what the args are. Look at. Returns a C frame. Up. What is up? Not sure. Okay. Let's see. So I'm wondering why this isn't working. It should have worked. It should be facing up because we got the dragon head position. Plus dragon head position. Direction equals. Let's go ahead and set that as a vector 3. Let's set this one as a. Actually, no, this is a table, so. I wonder how to fix this. This is weird. Print set C frame. Yeah, I'm just gonna have to look at it a bunch of times just to figure out what's going on. Okay, dragon head spawns. And it does face the correct way. And it is it printing set C frame? Yeah. Oh, I didn't watch if it was printing as it went. Okay, we're gonna try rerunning it. Okay, it's setting it every single frame, which means it should be working, but it's not. Maybe it's because I should be doing it like this. Start position. Are we actually setting the position? Maybe it's because I have to do it here. If t is smaller than last t. So it is running this every time. Let's try this. No, it's not working still. Dang it. You know what? In times like this, you just copy it all. GPT. Please fix the dragon head won't rotate on y-axis. Your issue is constant and calculated only in the beginning. Update the direction each frame. Am I not updating direction? Thought I was running this every frame. Is that not running every frame? With that final next position. Oh, do we have to do it like this? Okay. Oh, that makes sense actually. Because we kind of got to calculate the second next position time. And then we're gonna then be able to set the position and C-frame. Pause plus. Oh yeah, we should have been using pause as well. I don't know why. And then last TD. Okay, this should work. Yeah, I see. Please. Yes. Oh, it disappeared. It worked for a few seconds though. Why did it disappear? I think it's because it's this T plus 0.01. Let's set it to 0.98. That's probably why it kind of glitched out. Please work now. Yeah, there we go. There we go. There we go. Yes. Swords come out. And they fly down. Yes. We're gonna have to have this portal disappear and this tower disappear as well. But everything is kind of working. We also have to add a... Actually, let's work on that right now. So every single time the dragon head hits the ground, it's gonna have to have a little explosion that kind of like goes up. And so we're gonna real quick model that up. So let's go ahead and go to modeling, add a part, and let's call this a dragon head explosion. Dragon impact actually. And let's go ahead and add an attachment. Move the attachment up a little bit just so that we can see what it looks like. And let's start adding particles. Go back into ZV. Let's see, what are we gonna do here? Probably add we gotta find some good impacts. That's what we gotta find. That could be cool, but it's not what I'm looking for. I need something where it's kind of like exploding. Oh, I know, I can find it on statics. Let's see. Okay, that looks pretty cool too. A lot of these ground effects look really nice. Something like this, but why is it colored? If only it was like black and white. Yeah, we need this, but it's colored. Why are they colored every time? Dang it. I guess black and white, it doesn't really matter in the end. This one looks cool. And we can add some like ripple effect like this on the ground as well. Oh, this is it. I think that's it. We're gonna have to rotate it. Oh, that one. And we can layer this on top as a ground impact. This as well, we're gonna use that. And what else? I think that's about it. We could use this one too. Yeah. What else can we add here? This one could be cool if it's upside down. I'm not trying to re-rotate it though, so let's just not use it. Okay, this one, we already have this type of effect. So what we need now is a shockwave. A cool looking shockwave. This is a... I think it's too circle. It's too circly. This is good. No. Yes, that is good. That could be like a kind of wind shockwave, yeah. This could be cool. I know it looks a lot more animated, but... No, that could be a non-animated version. Let's see. We can use this too. I think that's it. Okay, I think we're ready. So we got all the things that we want to use favorited. All I have to do is go down to the favorites and import them. So let's go ahead and use this one. Import this, import this, import this, import, which one do we want to use? We used this one already, so let's use this one. This one's taller. Let's use this. Do we already import that actually? It's called Impact 114. No, we haven't. Okay. 116 actually. Whoops. I don't think we want that. We want this and this though. And this one, we already have something like that. This one, yeah, we can go for it. Okay, so that's all the particles that we're going to be using for this kind of impact. So we got these. Let's go ahead and add emissions and set size to 20 on these. Make sure they're the right ones. And let's actually move this up in the sky so that we can kind of see what it looks like. And ground. I think this one has to be a size 20. And we're going to set its speed. Is its speed already set? Yeah. And now we're just going to set its acceleration to 0.01. So now it's kind of going up, but you can't tell. And now we're going to set orientation to velocity perpendicular. Nice. Now it's a ground hit. We're going to do that with the... What were the other ones that we're going to go for? I think we're going to use this one. Do we use this one? 531. Do we have 531 here? No, we don't. Because we're not using 531 then. We are going to use 433 for sure though. So 433, that's also going to be a ground one. Let's go ahead and set the acceleration to 0.001. 0.01, doesn't really matter. And let's set the size to 20. Let's set the velocity perpendicular. And now it's on the ground as well. And now, see what else? Let's go ahead and set all their light emissions to 1. And light influence as well to 1. Actually, while we're working on it, let's set it to 0. Just because it's kind of getting in the way. But yeah, let's see, what else are we trying to do here? Everything's layered, so I can't really tell what's what. But we can size up some stuff. Oh crap. 20. Okay, what is this one? Okay, that's the impact. And so for this one, we're gonna set the size to 15. And we're gonna raise it up. And so we're gonna have another attachment. And we're gonna call this one the impact. Was it this one? Yeah, I think it was this one. And so now that we have it here, we can move this up real quick. There we go. And set its what is it called? The orientation to facing up. Facing camera world up. There we go. That was always facing up. And that looks pretty good. That looks pretty good. Let's set the size on this one to 30 just to see what it is. It's also an impact, so we're gonna drag that one there as well. I cannot see a thing. Holy crap, everything is so bright. Let's actually set the light emissions to... Let's set transparency to 0.2 real quick. And let's set transparency over here to 0.2 as well. Or that's 0.8. Let's set this one to 0. What is this one? That's another ground impact, I think. Yeah, so we're gonna set this one to size 30. And then we're gonna make it the velocity perpendicular going up 0.001. Camera orientation, velocity perpendicular. Oh no, this is the wave. So no, for this one we're gonna set it to camera, facing camera. And this is just gonna be like the wind of the impact. What is this one? Set size to 40. Oh, that was that one. Okay. Set size to 30. That's another ground impact. This is the ground impact. So we're gonna go ahead, set the what is it? Yeah, acceleration to 0.001. Let's go over to, what was it? Yeah, orientation, velocity perpendicular. Let's set light emissions to 1 so that there's no black background. What else is there? Let's actually set light emissions to 1 for everything. And then let's see if we've edited everything. Yeah, so I think everything has been edited. So now all it is kind of just doing the properties. So we're gonna go ahead and do random rotation. No, we're not. Wow. Just for these ones, we're gonna do random rotation. And then we're gonna do beam color. And then we're gonna do impact. And then we're gonna do fade out. And then we're gonna do fade out for these ones. Did we not set the... Yeah, light emissions to 1. Okay, the size is too big, I think. Yeah, this size should be 15. Nice. I've been trying to get into making a game. I tried making a Battlegrounds one, but I couldn't finish the map, and I didn't even know where to get the code option. Can you give me some tips? Yes. So when it comes to like making a game, like a large scale game at least, it's kind of important to have kind of like the fundamentals down as well. And so you don't want to start with like your big game. Like I probably shouldn't show it on stream just because it's a different project I'm working on, but like I didn't start with the big RPG game. I started with like other tinier games. In fact, I'm still working on like a couple of tinier games. One I'm actually going to do a video on later on. But yeah, just don't make the big thing first. Just learn how to do the things that you're trying to do. So let's say you're trying to make a Battlegrounds. So those games take a lot of FX, right? Like VFX. So I would recommend making like a smaller game that has like VFX in it. So something like not really sure. Maybe you could just make a game and like have VFX that you work on in it. Have a smaller game. And with those sort of games that are pretty small, you're not gonna like run out of kind of fuel to keep working on it. Because I've had those moments where it's just like, why am I even working on this? And I kind of just like stop working on it. And those times will happen like a lot, very very often. What am I kind of trying to say with this? Just learn the things that you're trying to learn for the game. Figure out the skills that you're gonna need, and then once you have those skills, then you can start working on the game, and then you can make the full game. Kind of like the reason I'm like yeah, even doing like all the other projects, kind of like learning how to do music, learning how to make VFX. This is all for the game, right? For the Roblox RPG that I'm working on. And so it's kind of important for me, at least, to have these skills, and then I can use these skills for the game itself. And I guess I'm kind of learning as I go for this one, at least. But this is not the first time I've done VFX. Like, I've done multiple other types of VFX for different projects I've had. And so that's kind of why I'm already able to like kind of make these sort of things already. But yeah, so just take it slow. Don't go too fast, right? And don't expect to be making like insanely good looking stuff on your first go, of course, because that will not happen. That didn't happen for me at all, for sure. That's what I can say, at least. But yeah, I mean, I hope that helps a little bit, at least. That's kind of how I went about doing stuff. Like, let me think. Is there any like smaller? Let me see if I have Game Maker. I wonder if this is gonna still run. This is kind of like where I start like all of my game development progress. Like, okay, maybe, yeah, I can't, it's not opening up. I think I deleted it a while ago, but that's kind of like where I started, and I'm sure you got a lot of time to learn everything, right? So, yeah. Oh, it is opening, actually. So yeah, I could probably actually show like my earlier projects. New update available. Yeah, I don't really like updating stuff. But yeah, so I could probably pull up some of my like original projects. These are like some of my older games that I've been working on. Let's see. Is there anything interesting? Yeah, like here you can see like I made a survival game, actually, and I literally gave up on it just because it was let's see if I can run it. Yeah, so it's like little things like this where like this is not a game, right? But I figured out how to have a player move around, and with that I was able to move on to like another project. If I open another project, whoops. Recent projects. Space Ace. This is another project that I worked on a very long time ago, and this is kind of a 2D game. I actually think starting 2D is like actually no, because you're making Roblox games though. So yeah, like this is like one of my OG original games I learned a lot of fundamentals on. You just want to learn fundamentals first, then you got everything else. But yeah, any other questions, just let me know, right? Yeah, this isn't my first rodeo on game development, so yeah, let me turn back on the music. Let's actually skip this song too. There we go. Yeah, so we got the impact. Let's see. Let's recolor it as well, of course. We don't want it to be the color white. I think everything's off by a second. Let's try. These impacts seem to be pretty big, actually. I'm gonna try impact C curve. Yeah, I think the C curve looks better, but I think the C curve is a bit too big, so I'm gonna set the minimum to 0, max to 15. Yeah, so now we have a smaller C curve. Let's try 19. Oh, thank you, that's a big hit. Yeah, let me know like anything else, right? I have a bunch of other projects, like if you want to see those as well, but yeah, just like I've been working on different projects for a while. Each one you want to learn something, and that's kind of like the main objective. It's not to like finish a game, but to learn something. That's actually how I've been doing it though, so it might not be the best way to do it. It probably isn't the best way to do it. It's just the only way I've ever known, so that's what I've been doing this whole time. But yeah, yeah, let's see. Yeah, the impact, is it? Okay, I'm gonna set up the light influence to be 1 for all of them. And the circle impact itself, wait, where is the circle? I'm gonna set this one to 30. Yeah, that's the circle one. And for the circle one, we're gonna add a little bit of rotation as well. So let's set it to maybe negative 100 to 100. And I think we should also set its time scale to be 0.5. That way it's a bit faster than everything else. And transparency should be low. I might actually set up a custom transparency modifier as well for lower transparency objects like this. Just because this is not my first time doing this one, so it'll probably come in handy later on. There we go. Actually, I think it should fade out a bit faster too. Let's see how this looks. Yeah, let's see. I think that looks pretty good. Should I do a YouTube tutorial to learn, or some fundamentals, or learn everything myself? Oh, okay. So like even me, I still watch occasional tutorials, but I think at least when you're starting off, like, and you're kind of a beginner to everything, you're gonna 100% have to watch tutorials. Like, for me, when I was learning to do like AI, like the monster AI where they move around and everything, I had to at least go to, what was it, the Dev King. I think it was the Dev King. He has a bunch of good tutorials, and I had to watch his like AI pathfinding stuff. But like, just think about like the different things you're gonna need to have. Like, if you need a combat system, look up a combat system tutorial. That might actually be pretty complicated though, so you might even want to go even smaller than that. Like, look for like a tutorial on how to add a punch, how to do like a punch animation, how to do a walk animation. I guess you don't really have to do a walk animation because Roblox already has a walk animation. But like, just like small tutorials like that, and you don't want to like just search like how to do this and then just like copy the whole entire thing, because at that point you're not like learning how to do it, you're just copying what they did and just using that. But in the end of the at the end of the day, do what works for you, right? So for me at least, it was just like doing it like that, but it could be different for you, right? It's probably different for everybody. But yeah, just watching tutorials is good. I'll never say don't watch tutorials. That's not something that anybody would say. It's like the big reason that YouTube even exists is a lot of the time tutorials. But yeah, I think that's the impact finished. It looks about good. I will say this smoke. What happened to the smoke? I added smoke a while ago. Oh, I think it's just very invisible. I'm gonna set the size. Is it this? Let's see. Set the size. Oh, well, to 30. Yeah, it's this one. Okay. I think that looks pretty good. And when we're doing the impact itself, it's also gonna be connected to a script, and so it's not gonna be off. And actually, we could do it here if we set the delay to 5, emit, and let's also set the let's see, what is it called, rate to 0. Okay, emit. Alright, it didn't work. Let's try delay 2. There we go. So that's kind of what it's going to look like when the dragon hits the ground every time. Boom. That might even be too bright. You can't really see much like detail. It might be because everything's the same color. So let me try adjusting colors for a lot of the things. So yeah, like just changing up the colors. And that should help in it of itself. We do want to start with a brighter color, like blue. Just because if we start with something pink, then it's not gonna have more of like an impact feel to it. But yeah, I think at least for one of these, we should change the second color to a darker purple, and this one to straight pink, and then this one to also straight pink. There we go, close, perfect. It seems like everything is actually ending on pink. I think some of them should end on more of a bluer color. just so there's more variation. Yeah, so we'll do it for just a couple of them. Instead of going to purple, they'll go straight to blue. Oh no, that one, I think that one should stay on purple. At least, or it should go to a light blue, like this. No. Okay, I think it should go straight to purple. Let's bring it a little bit brighter as well. Let's see how that looks. Ah, that's too blue, yeah. More purple. Maybe just a bit brighter. There we go. Just like that. It is also the last thing I see. I think I'm gonna actually set the transparency over here, kinda. Whoops. Taper it off more at the end. Yeah, that looks pretty good. So yeah, I think that's about the impact done. Let's bring it down. Let's bring the attachment down. Both the attachments down actually. To right here. Let's also set the particles themselves to locked apart, and that way when we move this part around, it's going to move the whole entire particle around. If we don't do that, then it would just spawn where it spawns, and it would be kind of messed up. So yeah, let's go ahead and set the parts transparency to 1. Let's set it to anchored as well. And let's set its collisions to false. That way we can't touch it. Nice. And just like that, we got the impact done. Dragon impact is done. Oh, no, it's not. We got to script it up, actually. So we're going to add a folder. We're going to call it events. And let's add a event, bindable event. Bindable events are pretty useful. Those are one of the things that you should learn. But it's also not important that you learn it very fast, because it's used for specific things like events, like where you want something to explode or something like that. And we should call this impact. And most things are used solely to assist scripts. Like you actually don't need events at all. You could just time everything with like timers and stuff, but that would be too much work, and it's usually easier to use events. So let's go ahead and do that. Set up variables. Let's do local impact bindable event equals, and then let's get the. Actually, no. Let's go to local dragon impact part equals script dot parent. And now that's basically a reference to this part. And now that we're looking at this part, we can now go down to events and then impact. So that's what we're going to do here. So dragon impact dot events dot impact. And so now we have a reference to the impact event. So if we were to try and get the impact, so impact dot event connect function. Now if we can print it on impact, so that's going to go to the console. It doesn't really matter that we print actually though, so let's just comment that out for now. Functions. So yeah, with the impact event, we're going to actually fire all these animations or the particles. And so let's go back to one of our older scripts where we had the emit all particles. Yeah, we're going to use this along with this. So let's just copy both of these real quick. Control C and delete all that. And then over here, let's go over here and paste it in right here. So now we have the two functions that we need. We can go ahead and take all of these impacts and attachments. So let's actually call this impact ground. And let's get a reference to those. So local impact ground equals dragon impact dot impact ground. Perfect. Local impact equals dragon impact dot impact, and these are attachments. So we're gonna do this real quick. And with these colon attachments or like colon bindable event, colon part, those are all optional. You don't actually need these. It would work very well just to be like this. The reason I add them is because with these like parts and stuff, like let's say dragon impact, if we remove this and we try and use one of the functions that a part has, you'll see, okay, it actually does come up with all these, but usually it wouldn't. Yeah, well, usually it wouldn't. If it ever gets to a point that I can show what I mean by that, I'll show it. But yeah, the reason it's actually working right now is because the Roblox Studio already just knows, just because it's a pretty simple organization right here. But if we were to like dynamically add stuff, then we'd have to use the hinting, which is what that's called, I believe. I don't know, something like that. But yeah, impact.event connect function print dragon impact. What was I gonna do? That's right. Emit all particles. And then we're gonna emit all particles on impact ground. And amount is gonna be 1. And we're gonna also emit all particles on impact. Oh, particles. 1. And then after all of this, we're gonna do an execution. And right here, we're gonna add a folder, values. We're gonna add a bool value. We're gonna call this, let's see, impact, or ran, or loaded. And then we're gonna get a reference to that variable, so we're gonna get local loaded bool value equals dragon.values.loaded. Wow. So yeah, the AI on Roblox Studio is actually a very good learning tool as well, and it actually might be even better than ChatGPT might even be better than like watching tutorials, because it can explain exactly what you need. Just let the AI know that you're a beginner, and it'll kind of tell you everything you need to know. That is, like, recently, at least for me, that's been the big way that I've been learning. So using ChatGPT, asking, what is this? What is it used for? Help me out here. And the best part is that it'll never get mad at you, so you can just do whatever you want, and it'll just always tell you how to do it and why to do it. So yeah. And right here, we're gonna go ahead and get the loaded variable dot value equals true. And now the reason why we have to do this, and let's actually add a argument here. So function from self boolean, if from self, then return end. And then let's go ahead and impact dot event fire true. And this is just to let the script that's going to create this dragon impact that it has loaded and is ready to fire the animations. Okay, so I think that's about it for this script. I think that's done. All we have to do is drag this into server storage, and on the arc script where we're going to be spawning the actual explosions, we're going to have to get a reference to it right here. So we're gonna call it dragon explosion. Local dragon explosion equals ss.dragon explosion. Okay, dragon explosion, nice. And every single time it hits the ground, we're gonna spawn a new dragon explosion. Dragon explosion clone. Local dragon explosion clone part equals this dragon explosion clone. And here I can actually show here. So the reason why we need this colon part is if we remove it right here and we do dragon explosion clone dot, nothing pops up. Like we can't like figure out what this dragon explosion can actually do. But if we do colon part and now we add the period, we can see a bunch of these options pop up. We can see, oh, So we can get the position of the dragon explosion. We can get the C frame, the name, the size, and we could still use all these variables, but if we remove this, it's actually not going to show all of them. And so it's just more for you yourself, more for you than the actual code itself. But yeah, so now that we got this, we're gonna do dragon explosion clone dot. Let's see, what are we going for? Events dot event, or actually no, value dot values dot loaded dot value, and we're gonna check this. If this, then we can run the explosion straight up. So we can do dragon explosion clone dot events dot impact fire. So yeah, we're gonna do this, and then once we've fired it, we're also gonna set false for the is self. And we don't actually have to set false because it's going to be nil automatically. But I just like to state it because we might as well. But let's see. So we're firing. I feel like that should work. Else, then we're going to have to wait for the event itself. The event wait. And then we fire it from here once we've waited for the event. And it might be a good idea. Does this function have weights? Task.wait in it? No, it doesn't seem so. So yeah, this is kind of just running at the same time. Is it? Or is it waiting? Is there any wait statements? That's pretty important to know. No, I don't think it is. We can actually test this. Oh no, we are test.wait right here. Okay, I didn't see that. So yeah, so we're actually gonna spawn it after the test.waits, but we're gonna clone it before. And we're also gonna set the position dragon explosion clone dot parent equals workspace. And then we're going to set the position after the wait. So dragon explosion clone dot position equals dragon head dot position. Okay, let's see if this works. Come on, please work. Okay, dragon explosion is not a valid member of server storage. Dragon impact, that's what I called, I think. Yeah, whoops. So let's go back to arc script, dragon explosion, dragon impact. There we go. Skip the song, of course. Okay, come on. Come on. Oh, and I think it's actually gonna spawn an okay, event is not a valid member of attachment. Attachment. Why is it going to attachments? Impact event. Okay, I wonder why it's going to an attachment. Is this part of the... Okay, it's part of the impact script, not part of the arc script. So if we go to impact, dragon impact, event is not a valid member of attachment, workspace, dragon impact. Let me go ahead and switch to a different playlist real quick. Let's just open this up. We can exit out of Spotify. And then boom, boom, boom. Okay. Let's see. Or what is I gonna need to do here? I'm gonna get some water. Is what I'm gonna do. Let's see. Event is not a valid member of attachment. Dragon impact.impact. Dragon impact.impact. Event is not a valid member. Let's see what's going on here. Am I running the impact? Oh, it's because we have two variables called impact. That's the problem. And we'll just call this one impact 1, I think. Yeah, that should fix it. Come on. Please work. Yes. Fire is not a valid member of RBX script signal. Oh, because we're running event fire. That is not. We're supposed to run fire on the event itself. Or I mean the bindable event itself. So instead of doing like this, we're just going to do it like this. Okay. And let's see if this works. Let's hope it works. Okay. Well, it's number 1 not working. Number 2, it's disappearing. So I'm gonna try and hide all of this and see if this fixes it. And I wonder if this is the reason why the dragon head is disappearing, or is it something else? Yeah, so, oh, sometimes it just disappears like that. And then where is it going? Okay. Something's wrong with the arc script. And I think it's because of this. Let's see. What do I do to fix this? The problem is I'm using, Heartbeat for this one. And Heartbeat runs, I think once every, or 30 times every second. Something like that. Direction. Okay. Start, pause, end, pause, duration. What am I doing here? Elapsed, last T. Yeah, and this is all, I think, not GPT. It might have been the Roblox code, which is why nothing is hinted. Let me go ahead and do that. Magnitude, which is a number. See it already? Oh, it's a setup variable already. Okay. Position, that is I believe a vector 3. Next position, also a vector 3. Direction, which is a vector 3. Last T, and we're not initializing any new variables there, so that's fine. T is bigger than or equal to 1, then connect, disconnect. What do I do here? What do I do here? Let's just ask the AI, see what's going on. Dragon head disappears after touching ground once. Is this line at the end of your script? I don't think it's because of this. Is it? Okay, let's see how this looks. So yeah, it's messed up somewhere. Hits the ground, disappears. Let's actually set the arc length to 2 as well. See if that fixes anything. So let's set this to 2.05. And let's hope that fixes something. It's also going to make it slower so we can see what's going on. Okay, boom. And it disappears. Wow. Why did it disappear like that? Where is it going? We set 0.95 for this. That's just a delay. Oh no, it's gonna end early is what that's gonna do, I think. Because the connection is gonna get disconnected. Yeah, and so that's like a kind of a hacky fix. It does work though, which is the thing. Yeah, and it works. Which is why I'm probably gonna keep it like that. But I'm wondering if adding all this back is gonna break it again. Let's hope it doesn't. Let's see. Okay, Dragon Impact spawns. Explosion. Yes! Yeah. I think with the dragon, we can, yeah, probably set to 0.6. Yeah, let's try 0.6. So we're gonna do 0.065 or 0.65, yeah. And then let's also, the explosions themselves might need a bit of work, just because. Oh, but we can't because it's a curve. So we might want to do the explosions early. So what we're going to do actually is we're going to set this to 0.6 and then task.weight 0.05. And let's try 0.55 and 0.1. That way it's going to start the explosion early. And it might actually spawn too high though, which might be the problem, but we'll get to that problem when it gets there. Yeah, spawning a bit too high. That's the problem we can fix though, just because all we have to do here is move everything down just a little bit. So if we move everything down like 1, 2, 3, like that. That by itself, that should fix it. We'll see. Here we go. Dragon impact. Boom, boom, boom. Yeah, and we're gonna have to remove that cyan colored looking thing. Like, we can bring these down a little bit more too. That might be too much. Okay, let's try this. Boom, boom, boom. Yeah. I feel like that looked pretty good. Yeah, we can bring them down a little bit more though. Yeah, and for the last one, we're gonna probably end it early, just because we actually don't need this one. So if I equals 3 is what we're gonna do. If I equals 3, then, meaning it's the final run, doesn't equal 3. Then we're gonna run all this, else, meaning it's the end of the line. We're gonna do the task.weight, except we're actually gonna spawn the explosion instead. Oh, but the thing is, the explosion I wonder if we can clone the explosion, but then not parent it until we want to, right here. Which would actually not be 0.55, would be 0.3. 0.2 maybe actually would work too. Test out weights 0.2. Okay, let's try this. Boom, boom, boom. That was way too fast. But it was about what I was going for though, so let's go ahead and instead of doing like this, we're gonna do it, the task.weight 0.55. Actually, let's do 0.6 for this one. But before we do that, we're gonna clone the explosion. And then we're gonna parent it here. And then hopefully it works. Hopefully it works. I'm just hoping that it doesn't mess up all the timings of everything, which it could potentially, at least for the giant explosion. I know how to fix that though. Oh. Yeah, so I mean, that looked about right. I think, yeah, it's just too bright. It needs to have more of like this sort of darker tone to it, which we can add to not only the ground but also up here. Maybe for the beam itself, we can keep it bright. But yeah, I think, yeah, it's just missing that darker tone. Okay, but that looked pretty good. Let me try running it one more time. See if I can adjust anything. Boom, boom. Those impacts don't spawn instantly. They should spawn first actually, yeah. So let's actually go to the the explosion, go to the script. Now we're gonna do the ground impact. Ground impact is actually starting first though. Does open beam have any weights in it? No, it doesn't. Okay. It feels like the ground explosion is slower though. So it might just be the ground impact 1 explosion emit. This might just be no, its size is already set to 45. Is its transparency not? Maybe it's just not fast enough over here. Let's try that. And yeah, let's also move this part to where this portal is as well, just because the dragon should not be spawning down here. Yeah, okay. The impact doesn't oh, it must be because it's loading. So if we parent it, we're gonna have to do the thing where we're gonna have to connect it to a bunch of events in that case, which is fine. Folder events, bindable event, impact, and we'll call this folder values. And let's add a bool value. Let's call this bool value impact, and I will be right back. Okay, that will be it for this stream. 2-hour stream, that's pretty good. That's been that's about what I was going for. Yeah, alright, nice. So yeah, I will probably be on tomorrow. Let's see. Yeah, I'll probably be on tomorrow. Things are looking alright so far. Actually, no, I'll have to be on today. I might not stream the rest of it, but we've got basically everything done. I'll make a new video for the showcase of the effect and another video for a different game that I've been working on. I have also been working on the RPG, of course, though, because this is part of the RPG as well, but other stuff as well, like modeling new food items and everything. But yeah, nice. Okay, perfect. So that'll be it for the stream, probably. Thanks for watching. Make sure to like, make sure to subscribe. I'll see you guys in the next one. Alright, Kate, bye.